All right, how's everybody doing today? Uh, thanks to Michaela for again having me out here at representing BIC and also being in charge of pretty much creating a badge. Um, as you can see, this year was a year that was pretty amazing for not only myself but the organization as a whole. Not to mention our community. This is one of the first times that we had the opportunity to come forth and display our talents. And if I may say so myself, based upon the amazing response that I've been getting from everyone else, that we went out and we showed out. We did a great job. So to everybody who's been out there supporting us and helping us along the way en route to great events like DEF CON. Um, I'd like to say a big thank you. And with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and get you guys talking about something that everybody's been kind of kind of interested about finding out a little bit more about, and that's the big badge. If you can give me 1 second, I'm gonna go ahead and pop on some information on the screen. I got a nice little slide deck, and we'll go through that, and hopefully we'll be able to demonstrate and show what the badge is about, what it's for, and some of the capabilities that we hope to unlock in future versions or revisions of the badge itself. And not to mention, it's open source, so you at home should be able to go ahead back and pick up your badge and follow along, or try and create your own changes to the badge itself. So if you give me 2 seconds, I will go ahead and pull that up. Okay, let us pull it down. Bam! Look at that, just like magic. All right, so I'm gonna start off with exploring the big badge. That's like what I named the slide deck, because obviously that's kind of what we're gonna do. And also, I want to take the time right now to do a few things. I got to do a few housekeeping things. Any of the things that I say, do, or represent is not representative of my employer, nor is it to be construed as the thoughts or the intentions of my employer, U.S. government. That's with that out the way. I'd also like you guys to know, like, what's my position. Let's quickly cover that. Hi, I'm Socks. I'm your Red Team Operations Director for Blacksmith Cybersecurity. What my vision, what I intend on doing throughout the organization is to improve our capabilities within CTFs, Red Team, and also inculcate a learning environment for people to be able to reach out for when they're taking their OSCP, to actually have labs to supplement the labs that's already provided by the different vendors that support the dreams and desires of our membership. So you can always reach out to me through big channels. Of course, utilizing that great Discord, it has been an amazing way for us all to be able to work together collaboratively and share information. With that said, should I get started? Sure. All right. So exploring a big badge, and please excuse me as I look in this direction, because the badge is also on another screen, or my slideshow is on another screen. I just want to make sure that I'm tracking appropriately. So I'm just going to go ahead and click over there, and then hopefully I can just use the down key to progress throughout my slide deck. All right, so we're going to start off with the agenda here. The agenda being we're going to do a specific badge overview, right? We'll talk about modifications. We'll talk about the materials for flashing. We'll talk about code. I actually have a link included inside this talk where you can go to get this to get the code. Also, we'll discuss planned upgrades and walkthroughs. All right, so the badge overview. Let's talk about what is it for, what does it do, why did you guys get so excited about grabbing one of these amazing pieces of architecture? The short and long of it, which is always a confusion term for me, is our CEO, Michaela. She had an idea. She said, "Hey, I want to find a way to uniquely bring awareness to social injustice and police brutality that's affected that affected the Black community." She had a bunch of names. She had a bunch of names and a bunch of ideas, but I think together we were able to come together with a really elegant solution in design. I think I want to. I'm getting a little bit of chatter. I might want to give the opportunity for if she's here to pop on screen and to give us a quick hello and where you at.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Well, I don't want to mess up the stream. We got it going good, so I won't turn my camera on just yet. But hi, everybody. I'm Michaela Barnett. I'm the founder of BIC, and we're excited to be here with you guys today. And I think both Garrison and Alex are also online too, so I'll adjust them and see if they're ready.
Hey everyone, how's it going? I am Garrison. Let me turn my camera on really quick. Hey everybody. So I'm Garrison. I'm the Director of Communications for Blacks in Cybersecurity, and I'm glad everybody can join, and look forward to speaking with you all.
Hey guys, my name's Alex Barnett. I'm Director of Public Relations here at BIC headquarters. So excited to be here on the live with you guys and to get to know all of you as well. Welcome to the chat, and I'm ready to just hang out and talk to you guys a bit. P.S. If you hear any meows, that's my cat, Fendi, and I always bring her up during lives.
You always bring up that cat, Alex.
She's an icon of our generation.
Oh my gosh. We need to make a badge that's Fendi shaped. That'd be so funny.
That's so cute.
Awesome. Well, I mean, with amazing staff that I get the opportunity to work with. I mean, it's no question how awesome the outcome and output that we've had that led to our successes throughout this conference. So pivoting back to, I guess, the badge. Like I said, Michaela came up with an idea. She said, "Hey, how could we create something amazing and new?" And I was just, to be honest, I'm still to this day very honored that she would trust me with such an amazing task. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about this badge, shall we? Let's hit. Sorry about that, guys. Let's go to my slides. All right. So what you see here is the badge, right? On the left hand side, I believe my left, so I'm raising my left hand. On my left hand side, you see the front of the badge. The front of the badge initially started out with having the screen. We were gonna build a screen which had scrolling features that would showcase 250 plus names of people who had been affected by the social injustice or police brutality within the Black community within America. that due to some manufacturing issues, we had to repivot and come up with new engineering approaches in order to satisfy the requirements that we set out to do. All right. So our goal was to share these names and to create a method to which we can always remember those affected in such ways. So if you look at the back of the badge, let's just talk where I'm put on my engineering hat. And by the way, I'm not an electronics engineer. I'm not a developer. These are things that I learned and drew from past experiences in order to create this solution. So if you look at the upper right hand side of the second the back of the badge, you'll see a chip, a very prominent chip. That's the ESP12E. Now the ESP12E is not super special. It's a very lightweight chip that deals with the 2.4 gigahertz band. So when you think about when the internet was when Wi-Fi was becoming really popular, and people had super high speed connections using 2.4, well, that's what you got. I had to consider power, portability, and functionality as I designed this. The coin, both the badge and the components that went into it. If you look to the left of that chip, you'll see a switch. That's an on and off switch. So you can cut the battery on and off, so that you don't consume too much battery. With right below that switch, you see the USB Type-C connector. I'll talk a little bit more about that as we move in. But if you look to the far right, that yellow rectangle, I will hold up my right hand and I will point in that direction. A yellow rectangle, that's what actually held was supposed to hold the screen. And unfortunately, due to manufacturing issues, the connector pins were misaligned, and they didn't properly follow the schematic sent, which resulted in not enough power, not going to the proper pins, and the data pins not being able to properly transmit, which resulted in us having some badges with screens which look like that, that were not able to function as intended. Quick note, if you look at the bottom of that badge, you'll notice that there's a plug, a connector of sorts, like right here. The intent for that was that you would have a rechargeable lithium poly battery, something that you find in most drones, that will be able to power the device. 3.7 volts equals not too much draw and about 32 hours worth of utilization per battery charge. Unfortunately, due to the microcontroller shortages and the electronic component shortages, I had to resort to soldering directly to the contact leads, which made the battery interoperability not as neat or clean as I intended, and it also removed the ability for it to be able to be removed and charged. I know I got super technical, and it sounds like a lot, but you'll understand a little bit. Screen. Give me 1 second. We're having a little technical. There we go. Bam. All right, so modifications. So as I said, I ended up having to solder batteries for all of the badges that got sold on site. However, in all other purchases, of the badge from here on, I was able to locate the proper connector, and I've been at heavy work redesigning the battery pack so that you can just plug it in and unplug it. That's a great thing. Secondly, the badge actually what it does is both a wireless access point and a web and also a headless web server. What that means is that each badge will generate its own wireless AP or access point. And just like when you go to coffee shops and you got to find which Wi-Fi to log into, it should emit its own AP called special badge. And from there, you connect to it. You'll type in 192.168.1.123, and I'll show you that in the code. And you should be able to connect and also see the names. That was a pretty elegant solution to something that I expected to be visual to transform into something a little bit more ephemeral. That kind of ties into my next slide. Goodness. All right, so let's talk about modifications needed for flashing. Let's say that you want to explore or you want to put flash code onto your badge. Okay, the materials needed: 2 wires, a soldering iron, some solder, one male-to-male wire, which looks just like this, and a USB Type-C plug. So the same plug that you use to charge your cell phone that looks like this with USB Type-C endpoint, you can use that. And also, I even show you how to do it, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and hit, you're going to solder on pin R13 or resistor 13 as shown as the white wire, and then wire pin 15 on the actual chip itself, which is identified as the black wire. Does this badge look familiar? It should. It's the same one that I have pictured up there. And then you'll unsheath or expose some bare wire at the end of either of those. You'll twist them, and then you'll plug them in order to flash the chip. Now, this sounds complicated, right? But it's not. Let me tell you, I'll tell you why I had to do this, and then I believe you'll understand how it works and you'll feel a little bit more comfortable. So in order for the badge to function, after you flash, after you put all the programmatic things, the instruction onto it, in order for it to function, the pin 15 has to go into what's considered low mode. That means that no power is going to it, and all the other circuitry is interacting. So if we gosh, I'm sorry, I saw a comment that had me about to laugh. So if you think about most Arduino or Raspberry Pis or anything, I'm going to pull a couple things. If you think about stuff like this, during the manufacturing process, they create what's called a reset and a reset and a flash button specifically for your like your Arduino devices, right? Because my intent was to flash once and pass it on to people and have that be kind of a hacking introduction to soldering and an explorative application, I didn't have the foresight to drop a reset and a flash pin for people who might not be so comfortable. However, when you join the two from resistor 13 on the ground side to pin 15, that allows the pin 15 to go into what's considered high mode, that means that a charge is going to it, thus activating the port and telling the chip, hey, I'm ready to get information. Give my brain some info. So that's kind of what's going on here, and that's what you see there. And in order for it to flash, you just have to have those two pieces connected. Once you finish, you can just cut those wires off. I just desolder them. That's why my solder looks so ugly. And then I just pull it out and it functions as necessary. So I'll try and do a demo as we proceed through the slide deck. So as I said before, once you want, it'll say, hey, it's time for you to reset the badge. You disconnect the wires. You use that male-to-male pin, and as you can see in the instructions that I have, you plug into ground, and then you touch pin number 1, and then you have successfully flashed your chips. Now, all of this probably sounds like witchcraft or some science fiction thing, but trust me, once you do it once, it's a simple thing, and you feel like a rock star when you do it. When you solder those two points, there's really very, very little opportunity for you to damage the badge itself. So it's completely something that anyone can do. You just gotta have the courage and try. And then you can call me and say, but you said sucks. So let's talk about code to drive the BIC badge. As we started out before, as I discussed before, it was really disappointing when we got the badges from fabrication, and the screen didn't work. So I went through and I learned as much as I could about the ESP8266 chipset, which ESP12E, which is featured on your badge, is a part of. And I started to try and figure out like how to overcome specific issues and obstacles. And I got into some developmental issues, to which I reached out. I had a guy over inside of Kenya. I wanted to keep it, inside the family. So I reached out and I said, hey, can you check out, can you look at this code and kind of help me out with navigating some things that I might not know to look out for? And he was amazing with coming back to talk to me like, hey, no, we're probably going to try and use this library because this library is newer than that library. Anybody who's used Arduino or tried to just get the little chip to blink understands that if you don't have the right library, then that means that, things don't work as well as you'd like them to. So shout out to Dan, amazing friend and fellow. And we'll get into code. The code base is from the ESPF Express libraries. Now, had a hard time getting it to function because the code that actually came from the Waveshare website, which is where I got the screens, it's poorly documented. It's a pain. If anyone's ever tried to work with e-ink, you will know that it was a pain. This is when I discovered that the socket for my screen was inverted. And what that means is when you're dealing with small pin configuration, they normally have 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And then you'll have a ribbon cable. And then on the ribbon cable, it's supposed to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, on my board, it goes 4, 3, 2, 1. And then on the ribbon cable, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4 on one side, which means that I can't flip to realign those pins, which means that I have to do a physical application to overcome that problem. Installed wrong. Frustration, anger, all of those things is what I was. So what happens when things like this occur? you kind of sit down, you assess the environment, and then you kind of move forward, right? So I tested. Electricity is going to the location, everything's managing, but it wasn't working. So, welcome to my creative brain. What are we gonna do? Okay, so like I said, I went from wanting to have everything as a physical display on my badge across the beautiful screens I paid absorbent amounts of money for, to having to come up with a solution for this. And definitely how this guy is right here, that is kind of how I was. I'm not a developer, right? So when my code works, I'm about 82%. I understand why it works, but when it doesn't work and everyone else says that it should work, it just blows my mind. So this caused a paradigm shift, right? Let's change from thinking about a digital representation on the badge itself to, like I said, a more ethereal application. So if we're talking about being in the village, then what do villages do? They communicate a lot. I said, oh, correction. I'm sorry, I got a chat. So within villages, we communicate, we have interoperability. There's someone encoding and decoding messages. So that's what led me down the path of this. Like, could we make the interaction more personal and self-contained? And the answer is yes. Within this ESP12E chipset, you can host a small web server, not very powerful, but you can also do what's called setting up a mesh network, where there's interconnectivity across not just me one-to-one, it's a one-to-many. So I looked out, and Dan and I would start kicking ideas back and forth, and the solution was a web server with a mesh network to support. Now, the trick is most of the explanations out on the internet say, hey, you can either have a wireless access point or you can have a web server. So the challenge was to combine the two and also remove the requirement to connect to a real internet source, right? So I knew that I wanted to have a special string so that it would be gamified. So 4 out of every badge that was created, we call them special badges, and those special badges spit out a very special string. Michaela was wearing a special badge throughout the conference, to which all the other badges were able to pull a special string from. And I thought that was pretty neat, and it reinforced the theme of BIC Village and the idea of us as a community. So yeah, this is kind of what you guys been waiting for, right? Again, shout out to Dan the man. Worked with me on solutions and code development with troubleshooting. Also, shout out to my other friend, Andrew Fustini. I met him back in Chicago many years ago. He's an outstanding engineer. And he works, I believe he worked with OSH Park, which is a fabrication studio. And he, like, I sent out my schematics, so I just wanted to double check whether or not my stuff was working. And he was able to get back to me rather quickly in trying to help me solve the screen problem for badge V2. No promises here. But we're definitely working in the direction to try and solve our pre-existing issue. All right, so again, in the slide deck, I have, and you guys will also get a copy of the slide deck. It's no biggie. But here's where the code repository is for you to pull down so that you can flash your own badge, or at least get accustomed to working and dealing with everything. And I believe we'll talk about planned upgrades. Like I said before, more functionality, more coding, more better, maybe. So definitely gonna build out some more modules so that for our next conference that's coming up, that's BIC specific. So stay tuned. We'll release a new code set, and you guys will be able to interface. I might even try and get a small soldering workshop so that you guys can get some hands-on training to soldering, so that you have that level of comfortability. Because I believe if you know how to do it, then then I don't have to do it, right? And that's a good thing. That's a tool that you'll have that lives with you forever. And again, will the screen ever work? SpongeBob always makes me feel sad. I'm very, very optimistic that it will, but this is something that I have to grow and overcome. And again, here's the screen version that has both front and back. There's no big difference other than having a screen on it. And I have a video that's sitting out here that you all that's also inside the slide deck that you can go see next time. And this is the output that you should receive. So let's go back up. Do my walkthrough. All right. Let me pull up my Arduino console so that you can see what we're working with. All right, so on the website that I showed you all, and I'm going to minimize this, or I'm going to shrink this. On the website that I showed, and I'll share it. Stand by. Let me just drop it in chat so that you guys don't have to wait, right? Who wants to wait? Copy. Go back here. Let's see. I don't want to send a message to you guys. I want to send a message to, okay, I'm going to drop a chat to one of the admins, and perhaps someone can take that link and drop it in. There you go. All right, so what you guys are seeing right now is the stand by. What you guys are seeing right now is my Arduino setup. And with the Arduino setup, again, I want you guys to pay special attention to this right here, which shows the IP address that you're gonna that it's gonna broadcast that it is, which is a local class C, 192.168.1.123, and here's our normal board. So the regular board that the attendees had, or that you will be purchasing, is considered a normal badge or normal board, and the SSID is going to pop up as normal board, as I'll show. Also, here's the index. This index is what goes into creating the web page that we'll see, and then here's the names that will be displayed. All 200 and I think 50 something. Yeah. I'm sorry, 274. Yeah, 275. I'm sorry, because I have 25 lines of code above this. So yeah. All right. So let's go up. Let's get our badge. So first, we're gonna pretend like you guys have gone out and you decided to solder your own badge. All right, so the first thing that you're going to do is make sure that the on switch is up, and then you're going to connect these two wires. And when you connect these two wires, it's not plugged in, but I just twist them together It doesn't have to be a crazy connection or anything like that. It's just, make sure that there's a connectivity happening here. And my big meat fingers are causing problem. But as you can see, right here, I have joined the two ends, right? All right, and at this point in time, I'm going to go ahead and connect my badge to the USB-C connection into my computer. You guys heard that magic sound? Here, and go ahead over here to Tools. At Tools, you're going to make sure a couple things happen. One, the board is proper. It's the Node MCU ESP-12E module. Just make sure that board is correct. Make sure your upload speed is 115/200. And then you're going to go down to the bottom and ensure that you have your COM port selected. In my case, it's COM 17. In your case, it could be 1, 2, 3, 88, 24, 16. That's, you just got to make sure that you have the proper COM connection set up. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and hit upload. Now, upload generally takes about, I'd like to say, what would I like to say? I'd like to say maybe about 2 minutes. And this is what you'll see. And the importance of me showing you this is because not often do you get the opportunity to see code actually compile and see how it should look when people give you a walkthrough. And also, Arduino has a bad behavior that programmers have been yelling about. And this bad behavior is their output, no matter if it's bad or good, is orange or red. So when people see red, that means bad, right? In this case, not so much. It's just it's just how they output what's going on. So let's give it a couple seconds. And while this is compiling, does anybody got questions? I know that it sounds like a lot, and it's probably been a whole lot to ingest. But the joys of a video is the fact that you can rewatch, slow down, pause, and the benefit. Do you see that red right there? That's not bad red. That's good red, because I'll scoot over. You can see right here that the percentage is going up. So we're actually writing to the chip itself. So right now there's activity happening here, and you should see a blue light blinking on the chip itself as it uploads. And compilation is done, and we know that because right here on the bottom it says hard resetting via reset pin, right? Or RTS pin. Let me move out the way. What that means is just take apart those two wires that we twisted together, right? We'll take that apart, and then we're going to do something else. We're going to go right here to Tools. We're going to go to Serial Monitor. Serial Monitor is awesome because it lets us see what type of output we got going on here, right? Let me find my double-ended wire here. I'm going to go ahead into the ground of the SAO output, which is that black box looking thing. And then I'm just going to touch pin 1. You'll see googly gosh. Then you'll see something else happen. All right. There we go. There's our crazy googly gosh. Boom. Okay. All right. And with that, let's go ahead over into the corner and see if we can see the AP advertised. And yes, we do see the AP advertised right now. I would connect. However, if I connect, I will disconnect from the screen, disconnect from the chat. But oh, I have a phone. Let's just use my phone just to help everyone out. Let's go over to Wi-Fi and Wi-Fi on. And right now, oh, it's going to be really bright. Okay, I think that we might be able to see. No, sorry guys, it's too bright. But trust me, normal board is showing. And if I go to 192.168.1.2.3, or as a matter of fact, if I connect to it, we should see output inside the here. All right, connecting there. Okay, keep that. And then if I go to 192.123, go. Maybe we'll see it. Nope. Sorry guys, because screens are white and my camera is super sensitive. We're not going to be able to see the output there, but clear output. There we go. All right, let's bring this talk to an end and bring back up. So what you would have saw if you were there. Yeah, Banks, I got an answer for you. Give me 1 second. Here's the expected output that you should see. Oops. Maybe if I'm nice to the machine, it'll be good. All right, so this is the output from 192.168.123. Here's special messages. They will be clear until you come across a special badge, and then the special badge will send a special string that will occupy these spaces. And here is, I just did a quick screenshot of some of the names, but that's what you end up having. So I see that we have a question. Here's my contact information. Let me get to that question. Any suggestion on soldering equipment that you should purchase? Sure. I believe if you can get the best quality that you can. So here, I will do something really quickly. We'll go to Amazon for you and then pick out a soldering iron. Boom. So you're gonna, like with anything, you're gonna need gosh, let's see. All right, so with anything that you're dealing with in regard to soldering, you're gonna definitely want to make sure that you get flux and any type of flux. I like my flux to be in a pin. It just works better that way for me. Weller creates a nice soldering iron, but you definitely want to get yourself a few flush cutters. Get some wire strips. I normally go between 100 and 200. And I have an air gun, hot air gun on my setup. And you definitely want it to be able to go you want it to be able to get reasonably hot. So I also know that Hako makes a really great, like I know a lot of people who use this brand as well. It's a little pricey, but you think about it like this. You buy it once, like you buy a soldering iron once, and then you don't have to deal with it anymore. Also, do yourself a favor, get some helping hands. This was a version of helping hands right here. I would have this because like I'm working with components like this a little bit more. But if you just type in, you know, soldering helping hands, there's an octopus one that I really like this one. This one is better than this one. Okay, I said it and I stand behind it. These are okay, right? Because they have mounting points where you can put smaller components to sit down on top. But this is definitely much better than this. And you kind of want a flexible magnifying glass because when it comes time for you to like look at very much smaller components, it's way easier. And yeah, I'm a fan of leaded solder. Also, here. So there's a difference between non-leaded and leaded solder. Leaded solder melts quicker, creates better connections. I say that, but it's more dangerous. So, you know, you don't want to be inhaling toxic fumes. So my solder kit has a vacuum. Okay. Sorry about that musical interlude. Did you guys hear that over there? Sorry about it. I had something else going on in the background. And my keyboard is not cooperating with me. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so if you get something with the built-in vacuum, I don't see it. I don't see mine. I know they don't sell mine on this on Amazon. So that's what I'd recommend for that. So any other questions? Okay, well, thanks for tuning in and listening to me go on and talking about the badge. I hope that you all take the time to explore and kind of look at what's going on with the badge itself. And yeah, I'm your Red Team Operations Director, and the next time that you guys are probably going to hear from me is by the end of this week, because I'm going to be releasing the walkthroughs for the BIC Capture the Flag. So thanks for everybody who participated. Thanks for everybody who's here. And I guess I'm going to turn it over to our CEO or to our Chief Flex Officer.
Not the Chief Flex Officer.
Oh my God, I forgot about that. I gotta add that to my LinkedIn at some point. That's hilarious.
Well, I'm trying not to be the featured item in the PowerPoint or anything.
It's okay.
I know, but it just messed up our flow. But anyway, it's fine. So hi everybody again. I'm Michaela. I'm the CEO. I just wanted to remind everybody that we'll be having events and programs throughout the year leading up to our winter conference where we can get the next iteration of our badge. So stay on the lookout for that. And we'll be starting back up with Capture the Flag practices soon as well. So we're really excited to have you guys. Make sure if you're not in our online community to apply on our website and check out our website for the links to that PowerPoint and all of our other links. So thank you all for coming out.